William Butler Yeats is well-known modern poet. He is born in 13 June 1865 and died in 28 January 1939. William Butler is a well-known modern poet. He got Nobel Prize for Literature in year of 1923. He is well known one of the naughty 90s. This is because he was one of those poets who rebelled against the trends of the Victorian age during the 90s, like T.S. Eliot. W.B. Yeats remains a great symbolist. His poems are abundant in remarkable symbols, patriotism, love, mythology, philosophical elements, and Irish themes are some of the notable themes of Yeats' poetry. W.B. Yeats wrote memorable poems. A few of them are the title is Byzantium, Sailing to Byzantium, The Second Coming, Easter 1916, Leda and the Swan, and Adam Cruz. Two of the major factors which influence the poetry of Yeats are his love for Morgan and his philosophy of history. Poems like Among the School Children refer to Morgan, his poet's beloved, and poems like The Second Coming are based on the Yeats' philosophical views on history. Means the poets in this poem notable that the Yeats found the Irish theatres which then became Abbey theatres. This is a very short introduction about the poet. So the next point is significance of the title The Second Coming. The title of the poem is very highly meaningful and symbolical. It is and suitable. It is related to the central theme of the poem, the birth of new civilization. The title, as can be explained, the content of the poem is based on its philosophy, history, and politics. According to him, history repeats in cycles. Every civilization's age lasts for 2000 years. It then ends and the new age starts with the birth of God. The year 1919 and so the 2000 years of the current civilization are about to be over. The anarchy, violence, and bloodshed caused by wars, wars, and rebellions indicate that the end of the civilization has come nearer. So the second coming of that Messiah is at hand. This idea makes the poet see the vision of monsters beast, the end, the violent age. The violent God is needed. So the rebirth is not Christ but a different God. It is avatar of a new but suitable God. Thus, the title refers to the central idea of the poem. The central idea of the poem is rebirth, new civilizations. The title is meaningful and symbolical. The second coming means the rebirth, of course, of God or Christ. Christ's first coming took place at the end of the Greco Roman civilization and the birth of Christian civilization. Now, the second coming of Christ or a new God is expected by the poet, it is at hand. Means the title, the second coming, is the new civilization or new god expected by the poet. This is a significance of the title, the second coming. The next point is discussing here the summary of the poem or short introductions about the poem, the second coming, written by William Butler Yeats. The poet is calm and quiet. Soon he imagines the cycle is moving around its center. It widens and widens. Suddenly, cannot control the center, disintegration take place. The poet compares this situation with the idea of the falcon and falconer. The falconer has no control on the falcon. It does not hear the call of the falconer, its master. The poet says, turning and turning in widening gyre. The falcon cannot hear the falconer. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. Means the above philosophical views of the is symbolical. The falconer stands for man's intellect, while the center or the falcon symbolize the man's soul. The fact that the falconer cannot hold the falcon means man's intellect has no control on man's soul. In other words, to say writers, science, which is the product of man's mind, has gone beyond the control of spiritual values and loss of the spiritual values which dwell in man's soul. As a result, sheer anarchy has been let loose upon the world. There is bloodshed and violence everywhere. This is the symptom of the coming end of the Christian civilization. The rebirth of the new God is at hand. As soon as poet thinks about the new God, a strange image comes out of Spiritus Mundi, the storehouse of the poet's images. The image is a fearful shape, half human and half beast. It has the body of a lion and the head of the human being. It is seen coming out of a distant desert and going slowly to Bethlehem, the birthplace of Christ. The monster's shape is so frightful, the birds fly away in utter fear. The shape has fearful and blank look. It is the symbol of violence and mercilessness. Its birth is the death of the present civilization. Here, the poet William Butler Yeats is of the view that the modern civilization is full of violence and mercilessness. So, to end it, a violent God is required. That is why the poet visualized such a mercilessness and the cruel looking beast as the new God. The sound of the rocking of the cradle is heard, and this means the new God has taken birth. And then lastly, to writers to say the new God is taken birth. The this poem is central theme is new God or the birth of new God, born in new God and new civilizations, born in new civilization. The second coming of the title of the poem is the second coming. The second means again, and coming means born, means the poet the expected by the new god or new civilizations. This is a short introductions about the poem. So today discuss here the very short introductions about the poem, about the authors. Thank you.